In Chief King Eris I's later years, after the obliteration of the Jadari, he set out to consolidate his land around the capital of Raksaklu, namely by enlarging the temple state of Eris II, for he realized that he could use the fervent followers of the old sun cult as part of his warband. With the capital secured, he set his eyes on the remnants of Ireland. They were attempting to recover after the loss of King Telerios, who died to Queen Tluukt some many years ago. But King Chief Eris was having none of this. He wanted to fulfill his mother's dream of having no elves left in power in Bulwar. To this end, he set out to conquer what was left of Ireland, and promised to share the remainder with Harpyland to the north. Aside from a minor hiccup where the bandits of Azkra Evron refused to give up the province during the peace treaty, the war went smoothly. Soon, though, the King of Slaves found his coffers to be light, and although he imposed a quota on the slaves he found, he was still lacking funds. But from the peaks of the Sadsur Mountains, he could see the pyramids of Kedarata, topped with gold. Remembering how they invaded his land early into his reign, he decided now was the time to get payback. They must pay reparations to him, would be his pretext if Gnolls believed in such a thing. Buckets of ducats were soon hauled back to the capital, and so great was the treasure that it was said you could swim in it. And King Eris I did, in fact. And that is where he met his end, as he literally drowned in gold. His son Eris II now takes rule. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the good Eris's reign campaign. With me, Dwarfpete. Funnily enough, he's benevolent. I don't think he's a gnoll. I think he's a human, sitting in a gnoll suit, whatever that unholy image looks like. Today, we are finally gonna rest for just a little bit, as we now have truces with virtually everybody. I mean, we could go down here, but we are over our governing capacity. So, you know, we might actually let this war exhaustion tick down. Maybe. I don't know. What I am going to try to do, though, is get one of these little derps. What's the word? Get one of these little derps integrated. So I can stop hemorrhaging diplo points. However, now that we actually have... Oh, we can raid... No, we can't... can we raid off Deltungir? Oh, it's too weak to raid off Deltungir. Oh, that's why we couldn't do it... Oh... That makes so much more sense. Okay. Got it. You need a certain amount of ships in order to raid a province. I didn't even know that was a thing. Alright, we'll build some more just to see what we can get from up Deltungir. Sweet, and we can actually get some free admin power. We're gonna need that. What we're doing is paying off our corruption, because boy, oh boy, has it built up over the years. And speaking of corruption, I think it's time to introduce some paper reforms. It seems that our antiquated systems of record-keeping are insufficient for the intricate accounting made necessary by our rapidly growing hierarchies. The traditional method of record-keeping amongst gnolls of the Sadsur involves notching bones. What? They actually had a method of record-keeping? Here, I thought they were going to make a joke that they didn't have any method. And while this may ably record the number of slaves taken in a raid or the number of cubs born in a year, it cannot account for the more sophisticated needs of a modern kingdom. To which we are one, apparently. This is news to me. Fortunately, it seems that the Bulwari had developed all manner of methods for recording the activities of a realm, and we see no reason not to adopt them. They are at once both familiar to our subjects and more capable than our own methods. Central to all systems of Bulwari, what... No, we are not losing our king to some random... No, just no. I'm sorry. He was 24. He wasn't even a general game. I don't think the chances of that happening are very. Let's pass on that. I'm sorry. No. However, is vast quantities of paper, and so our pack must ensure a steady supply is always available. Absolutely not, game. You will not kill my stinking ruler due to some stupid technicality or something. Whatever. He's not even a general. Bug off. He's 25. Let the Knoll live. Maybe they did discover that he was really a human in Knoll's body, but, you know, semantics, really. Where was I? Yes, we just did paper reforms. Of the three great Knollish kingdoms of the Age of Monsters, Ziha, Tluukt, and Prohaka, there's no doubt that the ever greater true Knoll kingdom, Prohaka, was indeed the greatest. Ruling from the ruins of an ancient Jinn palace, Prohaka's pack terrorized the Bulwari plains for centuries, and all number of lords and king paid her greatness tribute. Such was her pack's wealth that her palace, the Prohaka Eklu, soon became an opulent jewel in a simple Knollish rule. Ultimately, however, this great palace was ground to utter dust in the conflicts between the great Haas and the Caste Knights, and no palace in Seriand since has ever hoped to rival it. Until we arrived, that is. The hill where Jexus's manor once stood offers a commanding view of the city, now known as Raksaklu, and its surrounding lands. From here, the full extent of the changes wrought to the city by Eris II's pack is abundantly clear. The cityscape would practically be unrecognizable to anyone familiar with that old Seriand. Most traces of elven architecture and monumentality effaced in the violence of the first days of the occupation. Effaced? Effaced? Defaced, I guess? Looking over the city, however, Eris II does not see the present, but instead its past. The city that once was. This is purely the purview of imagination. For historical records... man. Okay, fine. That's my bad. Whatever. Fine. Whatever. Have it, game. Jerk. Keep it on. The city of Medrubar is the heart of the loathsome Irlam's power, the seat from which the plague of elf worship radiates like an unsightly rot. Under the auspices of their religion, they put to death countless heretics, building a paradise from the bones of their subjects. It falls upon our glorious pack to put an end to this vile institution, so that we can replace it with our own vile institutions. I'll pause the game. I'm smart this time. The practice of elf worship finds its roots within the words and deeds of the elf Telerios, who bound together the crumbling realms of Bulwar with the insidious glue of the new sun gold. Yet, though diplomacy was said to be his finest virtue, no land as contentious as Bulwar could be united without any degree of ruthlessness. In the city of Medrubar stands the headquarters of the Order of the Zenith, the dark left hand of Telerios, a hand that champions the cause of the new sun cult through the virtues of the Rack and the Pyre. Countless heretics have been burned in these city streets, and the Order of the Zenith presided over it all, ruling with fear where fealty failed and ensuring the new sun cult remained dominant. In this regard, Knolls can stand to learn a little from old Telerios. Bulwar is best ruled by fear, and to show what we have learned, we shall raze Medrubar to the ground. The Zenith's purge of Medrubar in 1220 shall pale in comparison to the cruel ingenuity of the Knolls. Let green flame burn it all, just like Queen Tluukt would have wanted. Okay, and I think it is time for some, Oh, right, I had forgotten to mention, these Eris II, they couldn't hold the Hasir. They lost them. The silly peasants that they are. And so now we gotta actually go get it back for them. Annoyingly enough. Alright, and I think we can speed 5. For once, we can just breeze through. This should go pretty simple. I don't feel the need to do anything particular. Oh, hello! Can I, real quick, initiate any more cults? No? I think I've got them all initiated. Yeah, I have initiated. Or the ones that I can get. The wiles of our demonic overlord are fickle and often inscrutable. Some initiated of Tluukt have been found writhing on the ground as they cover their heads. A deep and gnarly voice, speaking in booming whispers into their ears, tells of the dark secrets and grand plans of our foes. They predict the future, the past, and the present. Some are rendered mad by the whispers. Others sacrifice and paint sigils in blood to maintain their sanity. Yes, how do you maintain your sanity, Noel Pete, I should say. Oh, I just sacrifice some humans every now and then. Keeps the juices flowing. Those that are able to keep their wits speak the secrets to our King Chief's ears as they slowly make sense of them. Oh, and we get some mill points, the least useful of the ones. Oh, I could spend it on things, but... Alright, we can start annexing Shashura. Wow, they're a knightly order? Wait, what? How did that happen? Knightly is not the word I would use for them. We could also integrate Bulwar. Lots of things we could do. Akal says is actually positive thinking of us now. That took absolute forever. And will still take absolute forever to get rid of them. I suppose we could break our... whatchamacallit if we really wanted to. But I don't think that's too necessary. Oh, I did want to say, in other news, I thought this was Ordia. No, it's Karak Kanbar, who I almost thought this was Relgak Bloodmoon for a second. Turns out, no, they are just casually a powerful mage Great Conqueror, who has not turned into the Tugan Durak. So I don't know if they already exist, Tugan Durak, and these guys are just leftovers, or like what? But it's certainly strange. Ooh, and my boats are built. Let's go see how much good old Abdel Tungir can give us. Holy crap! Abdel Tungir gives itself 80 some ducats. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, sorry about that, Marblehead. Yeah, I was gonna trade some slaves to you eventually. Didn't mean to upset you. I have got to get my PP back up. My power projection. How can we do such a thing? Oh yeah, we're at... Right, we should end this war. That'd be a good idea. Give this on over to Eris II. Please hold on to it this time now. I really don't want to have to come back here. Yeah, keep that in Crossway. What was I... Oh, right. Rivals. Laurent! Ah, yes, there's a familiar face. It's, well, one way or another, I tell Laurent that they suck. Doesn't matter what campaign I'm playing. Laurent does suck. Alright, finally, we are at peace. Peace. We could turn ourselves into a monarchy, but I don't feel the need to at this current moment. One thing I am going to do, though, is get the Golden Highway and Bulwar proper under construction. and soon enough we'll be able to do this partake. The highway in Sidon is going quite well. It's getting there. One whole part of it is actually built at the moment. The main reason I'm building it up is because I don't really have anything else to spend my headband on. Also because supply limit is quite helpful in the desert. Crazy. I mostly don't want to lose more people to attrition. And it's nice to just be able to breathe for 2 seconds in this camp. that Keterata invasion earlier really threw me for a loop. Let's go ahead and revoke some land, get some extra reform progress growth. That'll come in handy once we reform back in. I don't know if it's going to reset our crown land. That would suck if they did. I could spend some money on the war exhaustion, but let's see here. 12 times 0.15, that's what? 1.8 war exhaustion per year? So it's going to take 7 years at the current progress to be able to burn down a war exhaustion? Yeah, that's a reasonable amount. I don't see any real reason to speed that up. It's not going to hinder my ability to take tech. All I got to do is get some... Oh, yes. Manpower. Oh, yes. Quality and quantity. My favorite event, actually. You know what? Based on that, let's get Bulwar, start getting them integrated. Right. I'll pay off a little bit of their debt. That makes them super happy. We can divert trade, then placate twice. And I think that does it. Yeah. Good. Excellent. That worked out better than expected. Oh, there is the small problem that I have, like, none of that. Let's put on some Diplo rep guy. See if he has anything. And there goes our spy network. God damn. I was trying to complete a mission, but oh well. Whatever. Game. Speaking of which, our next one ends in 1510 there, 1514 there, and 1517 there. You know what? Given how... Oh, yes! Well, good enough. That's what I was waiting for. Perfect. I didn't want to waste this stability. Perfect. It happens. Our pack is without parallel, for we have set out to accomplish the will of Tluukt. Where our contemporaries raze and slaughter with reckless abandon, we do so only at the direction of our glorious King-Chief, Eris II, who preserves all that is of use to our pack and sets to flame the rest. Every conquest has been carefully considered, every fiery vengeance checked by a cool cunning. We have long labored to shed the primitive tappings of our impoverished mountain homes, to aspire to the glory of the ancient Nolish kingdoms of the past, to rule over all Bulwar. And now, from his throne in Tluukt, Eris II finds himself ruler of a broad dominion ranging over all Bulwar proper. At last, we have become sole inheritors of the past. At last, it falls to us to define with rigid certainty the future greatness of our pack. When Tluukt slew the Akal of Zansanap and united the packs of the Satsur, she subjugated them, not through raw strength alone, but also through the intensity of her vision and ambitions, a dream to see Nolish rule over Bulwar restored, the birth of a regime to rival the all-high kingdom of Ziha. Achieving this ambition would prove to be a long struggle, rife with countless setbacks and unforeseen obstacles, struggle that Tluukt would not see the end of, dying before her dreams could be realized. Wonder what happens if you complete this, after she's dead. Or, yeah, no duh, Pete, she is already dead. That's gonna be used. Oh, these are good. Let's try that. Wonder what happens if you complete this before she dies. That would be interesting to see. Her legacy, however, would not be effaced. Defaced. It's defaced, isn't it? I'm gonna have to Google this. By so simple a thing as death. And the reforms she implemented in life, what reforms, would guide her successors to securing their rule over contentious and hostile Bulwar, even after her death. Her reforms were either serve under me or die. Even so, achieving her dreams has been nothing short of an ordeal for her successors, who struggled to reign in Bulwar, where she would have excelled. Yet rein it in they have. Holding court in Raksaklu. Just thinking, Tluukt only died like 40 years ago. King Chief Eris II secures oaths of fealty from not only the Nullpacks Tluukt subordinated, but also a large number of human tributaries and landowners. He wisely allots to each of them just enough. He wisely allots to each of them just enough to keep them contented and useful, keeps the rest for the glory of our pack. With this, a new age for Gnolls is proclaimed, heralded by the birth of a great kingdom destined to rule over all Bulwar, the all-cleaving kingdom of Tluukt. So what does this give me? I can raise provinces. I can't purge or expel humans. Interesting. I get diplo relations. It just... yeah. Inherit Bulwar. Inherit Bulwar? Inherit Bulwar? Oh, hello. Yes, I like that. Awesome, free mana points. Yes, that'll probably make it even easier to integrate the rest of the plebs. Yeah, it does. Okay. Good. Wait, now that I'm a monarchy, please tell me I didn't lose access to... Yes, I still have it. Yes! Honestly, my favorite, it's just so good. Plus, I can give this... Oh my goodness. That undoes the, Oh. Ah, man. I really do love this mod sometimes. Just when you think they didn't think of something, they thought of it. Excellent. Okay. No, definitely not on that. Definitely not on that. Definitely religious diplomats. Ha ha ha. Oh. To the nobility, we will pick up the... Yep. And we don't have adventures. Good, they get annoying sometimes. They really do. Honestly, I'd love a... Yeah, we will get strong duchies. That is very useful. And I think, actually, we will pick up the noble integration policy while we're at it. And mages, I always pick the one that typically, sometimes I'll go religious. We don't really have an incentive to go religious. Most times I just go with state, though, because it doesn't affect absolutism. And I imagine absolutism might be useful. I can even cast... Oh, this allows me to integrate my subjects faster. Oh, I likey. You know, now that I think about it, it's actually very rare to see a monstrous nation with access to all the estates. And I thought this was all new stuff. Silly me. Okay, we inherited Bulwar, giving us tons of new land. I imagine we're still boned as far as... Yeah, we are. Man, that thing sucks. I don't like not having governing capacity. It's not very fun. So says the guy who likes to conquer everything. Okay. Yeah, I'll take some extra admin. I've actually got some extra Diplo to blow. I suppose I can start spending some of it. Why not? Although at this point, man, maybe quantity wasn't the best. No, I will never say that. We need all of the goods produced we can get. Yeah, it's starting to pay off dividends. Bulwar is becoming a very decent node. Speaking of Bulwar, let's upgrade its center of trade. Now who is taking from my trade? Okay, 2 people. 3 people, actually. Ovdel Tung Drolikind, I can fix that one very easily. You definitely don't need to join my wars. Give me your money. Stay poor. That is what I do to my subjects. You're right. So we got Iralam and we got Ketarata. I swear I just fixed Ketarata. But we can figure them out either way. We only have a massive amount of rebels, you know. Small things. And why, pray tell, is our finances bad? Because we're still trying to get down on the amount of corruption we have. And our armies cost a lot of money for some reason. 16 ducats for some infantry? What? That doesn't make any sense. I suppose we can kill the corruption for the time being. It's not a big deal. And imagine that. The age is ending, actually, fairly soon. They finally caught corn. Oh, boy, we gotta help out a Svacine here. Can't be having that. Right. I said there's no reason to integrate somebody, because I just can't, I don't have the governing capacity to deal with them. I don't know if my my palace here is going to give extra. Where's the modifier? Prohaka Eklu is going to give it when it's finished. I don't know if that'll give extra, but all I know is that I can't do much until that is fixed. I will say, though, that I vastly prefer the governing capacity system over what came before. Many, many years ago, where you could only have a certain amount of states, which sucked. If anybody remembers those days were awful. Truly hated them. In hindsight. You know, at the time, I would have said it's the best game on it. Right, so now we've got an extra merchant, and we can bring that to... I reckon the Gulf of Rahen. The West Rahen Gulf. Eventually I'm going to want to conquer this guy, but for now, not a big deal. And Harpyland, you want me to fight Marblehead. Who do I actually want to win? I'll help you? Sure, I guess. I don't really care. Honestly, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't mind some army tradition, I guess. It's just... Sure. Fine. Not a big deal. We are making money, though, so there is that. I guess we can go use this manpower we've accumulated after we take care of our own rebels, of course. We could reform our military. Reckon it might actually be a good time to do this. So we're not going to have a better opportunity. We can do courthouses. That'll finally boost the governing capacity. And I think I will, which that will allow me to start. You want me to have a bigger army? Then go ahead. You want me to get a spy network in Keterod, and you'll give me Diplo points for it. Yes, because I'm behind on Diplo. That I will do. Yeah, sure. Now that we've actually got governing capacity, though, we can... We don't have governing capacity. No. Not even remotely. I wish. Yep, and it's already... it's already down. Nice. At least we're making a ton from trade. There's that. Alright, let's split up and look for clues here, gang. Help out our ally Harpyland, because, I don't know, that's something we're doing these days. You know what would also help my trade power, probably, if I fixed my overextension, but I can't really, because I don't really have the... Still waiting for that lovely, lovely... thing to buy down that war exhaustion. Kind of a problem when we got tons of attrition. Oh, Sidon's actually helping out their cousins of Harpyland. I really do hope they add more Harpy content in the future. They are one of my favorite nations to play. The Hunt religion, I think, is the best in the game. Honestly, it is without comparison. Its ability to generate good rulers is... it's unsurpassed. Like, really, there is nothing better than it. I feel, at least. Kill my rebels for me, please. I'm helping you out. Kill my own rebels. Alright, we gotta head back. And what's this? Urgent news. A pack of impatient gnolls in Zanzab have gathered some menials in order to enact a sacrifice of their own in the name of the Hazm. They are already performing the initial rituals to prepare a pyre. Some have even taken to gorging their thirst for blood on a few hapless sacrifices. The king must act quickly and decide on what to do with these unruly gnolls, as any sign of doubt and weakness could be a bad omen before a sacrifice. We could piss off the monstrous tribes. We can gain some manpower. Gain some manpower. Why are you asking me this? You don't need my approval to gain manpower gain. And I am curious what the quality of the Marbleheadian military is like. And here we can see it. 4.0, nothing. Yeah, that's pretty on par for course as far as goblins go. They aren't very good. Crazy. And they've just stupidly entered my land. Alright, let's teach them how we do things here. In Gnollish Bulwar. That's right, we absolutely decimate goblins. I don't actually know if the gnolls would be friendly to goblins or not. Given that they don't like harpies, or maybe they just don't like them because they want to own all of Bulwar themselves. Either way, I think once we finish the capital, I think they'll want out. There, funnily enough, is our truce with Syrian. Even if they wanted to form a coalition with Ireland, it really wouldn't be a big deal. And let's go reclaim Satsur Peak. And we can even pick up some new naval... No, I won't. I'll want to piss off the mages a little bit. Just because dip points are precious to me being so far behind now. And because I'll want to... Man, can you stop rising up for just 1 second, please? It's getting ridiculous. Chill. Go to sleep. Stop bothering me. Enough. Oh, and we get Eris II. All right then. And even more. Even more. Let's roll a general, the handsome. Not very good, admittedly. That's probably why they call him the handsome. It looks like you actually have taken the hold. I think this is the glass guys, or Legavar. I'd have to check, actually. Let's get some maps up here. I see Argard Stoon's still alive. That's something you'll love to see. The first dwarf nation I played, truly. Oh, these are Shastoon dude. That's our Legavar then. And holy crap. Stop expanding. He's Cornite? Oh, that's cursed. That's cursed indeed. I don't like it. I don't think this is a nation that spawns. I'd have to check. I don't think so, though. Admittedly, probably like one of the few people that know the orc nations over here off the top of my head. I mean, there's Black Moon. There's the something to do with the log. Yeah, no, that's as good as my memory goes. Shows how much I remember from the Tluukt Direct campaign. Alright, I think I'm going to call it an episode here. Harpyland does not want to get out of this war, even though it's a defensive war and they've won it. Well, 92%. They'll probably get out as soon as I stop talking. Watch. But, as always, thank you for watching. And stay tuned for more Tluukt.